Hey guys, it's been a while. It's been a while. I I'm laying in my bed and I'm about to go to sleep. I have a long day tomorrow and I just wanted to start a new chapter of my, I guess, weight loss story. I've had a really rough year. Some excitement, a lot of downfalls, and I guess starting at the beginning, um, I just sort of want to backtrack for a second. So, about 2014, summer of 2014, Damon and I started our weight loss journey. Um, a friend of mine had given me this book called The Dukin Diet. It was low carb, low fat, non fat, sugar free diet. So that required like getting, like a Costco's membership so that I could purchase lots of meat and vegetables, no carbs. So that's what I've basically been on. Okay. So 2014, about 8 months into 2014, I lost 100 pounds. It was one of the best things that ever happened for me. At that point, that January, I believe, of 2014 was the highest weight I've ever been in my life. 430 pounds. Part of that was a lot of depression. A part of that was a lot of drinking, eating fast foods, that kind of thing. So, I mean, not really fast foods, but mostly Chinese food. Just because I was so busy all the time, I wasn't cooking and I was making poor choices. Plus, I was really broke. So, unemployment, I think I did food stamps for a while there. And, I couldn't afford the healthier choices of food. Anyway, so flash forward to January of, I think it was 2014, that year. Damon and I were together. I did this New Year's Eve walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm a tour guide. I had a boss who wanted me to work that tour, and I didn't know the tour, and it was New Year's Eve, and so I, instead of doing the tour, thought, well, I'll go on it. And what ended up happening was I went over the Brooklyn Bridge. It started off like towards City Hall, not City Hall, but like I don't know, maybe a mile away from Brooklyn Bridge. But anyway, I started there and did the tour, and it was the last run, and we only had a half hour, basically 20 minutes to get from where we were to the Brooklyn Bridge just to see the fireworks. At 430 pounds, I was huffing and puffing. I had never been up the Brooklyn Bridge, and I didn't realize that it was like this ramp that just, goes up. And my body couldn't take it. I was crying. I was embarrassed. My friends turned around to wait for me. Lost my friend who was a tour guide completely. And long story short, I made it up the bridge, but I lost my friend and I missed out on the tour. And I made it right before midnight, saw the fireworks, and I realized something had to change. And, moving into all of that, that's when my friend handed me the book. The summer of 2014, started the diet. 8 months later, lost 100 pounds. So, that was great. Did that. I've lost about 60 pounds before doing something called like the Atkins diet back in 2004. So I've been heavy most of my life. And when I mean by heavy, I mean like in high school, I was like a 16, 18. And then in my college years, I was like a 20, 22. And now I'm like a 22, 24, 26, 28. somewhere in that range between 22 to 26, 28. All I know is my mom usually likes to take me shopping because I like never buy myself clothes because I can never find clothes that fit me. And I was still struggling up here paying rent and other things that I didn't have money to. I couldn't afford clothes, and my mom likes to take me shopping, so every time we'd go. And then we went to Lane Bryant, and they basically had to order clothes for me to be shipped to me because they didn't have sample or the sizes in the department store. So that's embarrassing enough. And this is just these are like the main points, couldn't find clothes that fit me, all that stuff. So anyway, lost 100 pounds, rode an airplane without having to ask for an extra seat, attachment. And things were looking pretty good. And then we made it through the holidays because that was like June into September. We made it through the holidays, and then in January of 2015, we went to his mom's birthday party, and basically the food was ordered for us because it was like a prepaid for birthday party or whatever. And there wasn't anything there that we really should have been eating. So even the salad already had dressing on it. There was calamari, there was pasta, and like fried chicken. So we couldn't really eat anything. And, bread rolls, because this was like an Italian restaurant. So, and we ended up having to eat what was in front of us. And I had one of the most embarrassing things happen. I was so sick afterwards. I mean, I took salad and I took a piece of bread, and I thought, well, this isn't too bad. I mean, well, let's like splurge, for one night. Why not? What's the harm? It's called dumping syndrome, meaning that it comes out this way, it comes out the other way. Luckily, even though I've always wished that I could throw up, I've never really been able to throw up out of my mouth. I hate it. It's the worst. It only happens when I'm like really, really, really sick. Luckily, I have a pretty good, I guess, acid reflux. I don't know. But basically, I was sick. And there was only one bathroom in this small Italian restaurant. And I was so sick, and we had to drive everybody home, and like I couldn't even wait to get home. I was just exploding, basically. It was embarrassing. So, all right, I'm running on 8 minutes. So where am I going with the story? So that happened in January of 2015. And then I was like, okay, we know what happened. I don't want to do that. Well, I fell into this like severe depression because I had no idea that you get depressed by losing weight. I thought that if you were fat, you could get depressed because people make fun of you and whatever. But I actually got depressed from losing the weight. And just the whole idea of this huge process of change was really overwhelming. And I still needed to lose another 250 pounds. I still need to lose 250 pounds. So I ended up spending most of the summer withdrawn. My mom invited Damon and I to go on a road trip with them. I came out of my shell a little bit. We went on this road trip. And then Damon surprised me altogether and proposed to me on this road trip. So we were in San Francisco. He proposes to me. Meanwhile, I had just started therapy. Started seeing a therapist for my depression. And, and here he is, like, proposing, and I'm thinking, wow, you sure you want this? Like, I don't even know. And all of a sudden, all of the ideas of being in a wedding dress at this size was going to already be overwhelming and depressing. And I was trying to be optimistic about the whole thing, but it's a lot of pressure to put on a wedding. and we didn't really have a lot of money. And he was saying that he didn't like where he was working at, so I didn't know if he was going to make it through there. So anyway, he pushes his way through into January, into February, into March, into January. And we then decided that we found a place that we wanted to have our reception. And that's actually supposed to be tomorrow, Saturday, October 29th. We were supposed to have our reception at this place called Floral Terrace. And we made up magnets. We made up a guest list. We invited people, sort of. But, we weren't really sure, like, when for some reason I kept holding back on sending out the actual reservations. I mean, I built a website, everything, and what ended up happening was we realized that his job was really stressful, and then I really, really wanted to get married on Leap Day, and so did Damon. And so we thought, well, we'll do like a small ceremony on Leap Day, and then in October of 2016 we will we'll leap forward in time, and we'll have a Leap Day reception. And so that was the plan. And so we had this cute little, very, very, very small, ceremony. My mom and his parents chipped in to help with a limo and dinner, and everybody chipped in for dinner, and that's what we did. We got married at the courthouse on Leap Day. So I just realized my finger was in the picture all this time. Sorry. So anyway, and so that was February, end of February, and then we went into March, and we went into April, and then in May, we lost Luke. And Luke is Damon's brother, and he's autistic. He was living in this facility that basically was negligent, and they weren't watching him, and they weren't monitoring him like they were supposed to. And it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking, and couldn't take it anymore. And so at this point, the stress of the wedding, on top of the excitement of getting married, on top of Luke's death, Damon quit his job, and so it's been a really stressful year. And as weird as it sounds, with all of this drama, my business has actually started to pick up. So I've been even more busy working, giving tours, and doing other things. And I'm that kind of person that I have to stay busy, And so business is okay. But then basically Damon quit his job, and I've still been struggling with my depression. I've still been struggling with dealing with all of the business things, day-to-day business stuff. But today backtrack for just a second. So today's October. It's been about a month. October, September, August. Maybe like around the end of August. All right, so I've been busy giving tours. My knees started to hurt. Specifically my left knee. And I thought, well, that's really weird that my knee was hurting. So the pain was starting to build, and I've never really been in this kind of pain other than when I had my pinched nerve in the back of my shoulder about the end of 2014, I think. Right after I lost all that weight the first time. So my knee was hurting, and I thought, well, I need to go to the doctor. So our insurance had actually started to kick in about April or May. And I have Metro Plus, and here in New York. So went to go see my primary care doctor that I was assigned, and he took one look at my knees very, quickly, and just very bluntly said, "You have osteoarthritis in both your knees." And then he sat in front of his computer and pushed a couple of buttons, printed out a couple of pieces of paper, and said, "You should consider bariatric surgery." And it was a total shock to me to just be, and it's going to be paid for by your insurance company. And you should do this. And you do it, your knee pain will go away. And I've been working so hard to bring my business up. And now what's holding me back is my weight. So we're about 16 minutes into a video, and now you guys all know my life story. At least the last couple of years. And what basically happened was the knee pain was hurting. He gave me something for it. About a week later, or a week and a half later, I was on my way to give a tour and my left knee gave out. First time I ever had to ride in an emergency vehicle. Ended up at Bellevue Hospital, where they just gave me a couple of pills, Tylenol or whatever, Advil. Told me to put ice on it and go see an orthopedic surgeon or something. So millions of doctors and phone calls and ZocDocs later, I found somebody who could give me a cortisone shot in my left knee. Then, exactly 2 weeks later, after that, my right knee went out. So the doctor was right. Both knees, osteoarthritis. The right knee went out in the same exact manner. I tore my meniscus, which is, the thin membrane that is over the knee, and very painful. And so both left knee and right knee have a torn meniscus. Was given new prescription, diclofenac, and it makes me sweat like crazy. Not that I don't sweat, but I always sweat, but it makes me sweat like crazy. So both pain in my knees, and just recently I started to get back pain. So I'm like done. I'm done with the drama, the stress, and I went ahead and followed up, went to the meeting in August, the informational session at Bellevue Hospital for the bariatric surgery. And I am talking to you guys now because as of officially today, I met with a surgeon and they did blood work and an EKG, and they took chest x-rays of me, and they scheduled me for March 21st. Said I needed to lose 20 pounds before I could get the gastric bypass. And if I don't lose 20 pounds, then they're only going to do the sleeve on me. Yep. So that's my story. And I don't know, I had some exciting adventures this week before today, including auditioning and flying to Florida from New York on Sunday so that I could see my family in Florida for just a few days. My mom and my best friend, my aunt. On Tuesday, I auditioned, interviewed for a position with Disney called Disney Adventure Guides. And the reason I did that was because I am a licensed tour guide in New York City already. I work for Disney as a cast member inside the New Amsterdam Theater. And this position would basically give me more tours in New York City, leading, as a tour director, leading people to where they need to go to when they come off the cruise boats and that kind of thing. But it's a little bit more than that, because it even means that they need somebody to be a tour director that works for the company, but they also can travel internationally. And Disney has cruises that go everywhere: Germany, France, Italy, Wyoming, to Canada, um, Australia. They have cruise boats that get off and do excursions, and they need to hire people who can lead the groups to do things. So I auditioned for that. I was able to make it through the online applications, cover letters, resumes, to the phone interviews, to the in-person interviews, where I think I did okay, but, we'll see what happens. So it's like super important that I lose weight, because some of these excursions include zip lining, canoe riding, and, being able to walk. I mean, if I can't walk and give tours, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I am really at a position where I feel like this is the fastest way to lose weight. And on top of that, by the time I actually do lose the weight and I'm healthier, then Damon and I can have kids. And, that's important to me. So this is where I'm standing. This is while I'm laying on the bed. But this is what I got. The good news is that people who do this bariatric surgery, they basically are on the Dukin diet afterwards. So I'm actually pretty used to the sugar-free Jellos, the sugar-free teas, the no carbonation, steering clear of processed fats and carbs, and I'm actually pretty used to all of that. So, maybe this was meant to be. Maybe I was meant to wean my way off of eating really bad habits so that when I had the surgery, I'd be ready to go. I don't know. We'll see. So got lots of appointments set up, and in January I'm traveling to Iran. That's a whole nother story. It's for the World Federation of Tourist Guides Association, which I am a presenter for the bid for New York City to host the convention in 2019. So it looks like 2019 is going to be a very exciting year. And, yeah. Anyway, I hope this was found useful. If you are interested in any more information, feel free to visit my website, amadaanderson.com. My tour guide website is newyorkbroadwaytours.com. And I am on Facebook, so, feel free to reach out. Leave comments, whatever. So I hope you guys are doing well, and thanks for watching. If you're still with me, it's been 24 minutes, so yeah, so we'll talk soon. All right, you guys. Peace out.